What are the things that I wish I knew about money and did as a teenager that would have made me a millionaire way before 28 years old? 5 things up next. Hey guys, Nabeel Khan here and welcome back to the channel. If you're here for the first time, please consider subscribing. Question: was it a catchy intro? It's a thing, right? To be a millionaire before 30. But you know what? Honestly, I did it and there's way more to life. It really isn't about money. This is, honestly speaking, the real fulfillment in life doesn't come from money. That being said, it is okay to want money for whatever your reasons are. And as a teenager, I get it. I myself was in a different mindset. And so we'll go through these thoughts and things that I really wish that I heard as a teenager. Things that you can take away and put into practice in your life on your own journey to living life on your own terms, whether you realize it or not. But if you get it and you practice these things and you take in whatever you can from this video, then it'll set you up for life, I guarantee you that, and hopefully set you on the right path to getting a ninja mindset, building solid habits, and getting smart about money as soon as possible. You know, I'll tell you a story, I'll tell you my story. You know, I, like most people, came into the working world having no understanding, no skill set with money. My first career before I became a financial planner was as a professional stuntman. Literally, that was so close to being so painful, that wire anyway. It really was the best job in the world. It was surrounded by amazing people. You got to do so many different things, enjoy different experiences and get paid for it. But guys, the point of what I'm going to tell you is more to highlight the financial journey of mine along the way. I earned a decent wage, lived for the day ahead, and spent all my time that wasn't on a production, on a movie, honing in my skills. I made sure I could pay for what's important, you know, as a single working male. Stunt gear, a gym membership, a cell phone contract, and of course, future life. Yes, future life. I literally lived on future life because protein was too expensive and I didn't have enough money. And no, the sugar content wasn't a problem. Anyway, financial story. So then what happened is I chose to go down a different path in life. The when, where, what, and how is a story for another video. Let me know if you want to hear that story. But I found myself in financial advice. Still didn't know anything about money, but to me it was an opportunity to learn for myself how to manage my own money at the time. And what I did was I took the skills that I learned in life so far as an athlete, as a stuntman, moved that discipline and that process of always learning and growing as a person, and dedicated all my time to learning a new skill set and developing a new perspective. And in a relatively short space of time, I became one of the top financial planners in South Africa and the world. And that's basically it, right? The point is, if you have the right mindset, you can do whatever you want. You don't have to do one thing. And for real, life is weird like this, guys. No matter what you do, whichever path you take, you will always end up with where you are meant to be, and I'm a big believer of this. It helped me not take everything so seriously, and especially running this channel, being a guide to many people in life, being a coach, being an advisor. When I think about it, and I do think about it, life could have taken its own little path. I could have very easily continued down a different path like most people do and go through their teenage years into a job or career and have to figure out the money thing along the way, or never really figure it out. And that could have happened so easily if it wasn't for a lot of guidance, mentorship, and my commitment to learn along the way. But this is life, guys, right? So thanks for hearing out my story. Drop us a like button if you enjoyed it. And from where I am today, I decided to write down 5 things and make a video about it that you can take away from my life, my perspective, looking back in hindsight, that I would have appreciated knowing and doing along my journey. So here we go. Number 1, delayed gratification in your spending. Every rand that you don't give away, that you keep, is priceless when you need it. Now that I know makes a lot of sense. It probably made a lot of sense to me growing up. No doubt my parents have said that, save money. Don't spend it, don't waste it. But it's kind of one of the flaws of growing up, being a human being in general, not only growing up, but you see adults doing this. So you kind of really need to understand it for yourself. So think about it this way. Growing up, I played games. One of the games that I played was a game called Scarface. Also a huge fan of the movie, and so this game was based on the movie for those of you that can relate, but basically it was like a game similar to Grand Theft Auto. You've got this third-person RPG game, a role-playing game, and so the whole story was you start with nothing and you have to go through all these missions. You can free roam the map, and as you do missions, you get money. And of course, the whole point of the game is to develop this massive empire, right? Just like in the movie, if you've seen it, the mansion with the dual staircases and all the bells and whistles, fancy guns, great suits, and all the things that come in that movie, in that storyline. And you know, you play the game multiple ways. Some people played that game where you acquire all the fancy toys and guns and spend all of the money that you accumulate from doing the missions and end up needing to just work more and more throughout the game and try to do all the extra other missions to scrape up cash to continue the storyline. And then you figured out, playing the game over and over again, that the best way to play it is to use the money that you accumulate in the beginning, delay the gratification, and purchase little storefronts that generated you money along the way. If you did that, you would create more streams of income in this game, and I swear to God, it was the best way to play it. And you'd use that money that kept coming in, that didn't need your time in the game, to buy all the things that you wanted. If you just delayed that gratification, accumulated assets, and let the income from those assets buy you a gold tiger. And that literally was one of the more expensive things in the game. It was pointless. It wasn't a fancy gun or anything like that. It literally was a gold tiger. And that game is a wonderful way to understand how you should live life. Well, at least the accumulation of assets parts and the purpose, the power of delaying your spending, delaying your gratification. So that's number one, guys. I hope you got the point. On to number two. Start early and have a minimum standard. What do I mean by that? Question. How much would you have to save or invest to have 20 million Rand at age 65 if you are 13 years old today? The answer is 600 Rand a month. Here's another question. What about having that 20 million Rand starting at 13 years old only at age 45? The answer is just under 5,000 Rand per month. Here's another one. What happens if you start at age 23? How much would you need to invest every single month? If you wanted that same 20 million Rand at age 45, the answer is 15,000 Rand per month. Now, what's the point? Why ask these questions? Well, firstly, have you ever asked these questions to yourself in your life as a teenager? Another point is, did you even find that exercise remotely interesting? Because I would have found that interesting. I only started asking those questions really later on in life. Which means all the time I wasn't asking those questions, I didn't know that the biggest difference in creating wealth is time. And the very nature of time could be the difference between winning in life with money or struggling later on in life. You know, another way of looking at it is asking these questions allows you to understand possibility of your actions, possibility of the decisions that you can make with money today relative to what you can, if we take from the first point, delaying your gratification can do. I mean, really think about it. 600 Rand a month is not at all a lot of money, especially if you take some initiative and you've got a side hustle or a little side job in between your studies. And perhaps maybe parents can encourage this behavior by matching the contributions of their children in their savings. Either way, guys, start somewhere and stick to a minimum based on your own calculation of your own possibility. Make it a habit in your life and stay curious. On to number three. Open up an actual account. Growing up, I had a lot of jobs. I used to spend time packing shelves, but we started really early. I'm a triplet, so when I say we, it's three guys saying, okay, let's get in there and start earning some pocket money, keeping ourselves busy. But when we were in the younger years, my parents used to keep all of our money and save it up for us. And as I got older, kind of that concept of keeping money in an envelope somewhere safe in your own possession carried on. I used to keep money in the cupboard safely, and I used to accumulate a lot of money doing that. And I only opened up my first account later on in life when I did my first advert. And I had to do that in order to get paid because the production company said I needed a tax number, an account. And so we rushed and got this entire thing set up, stood in line at SARS, which is the receiver of revenue. It was a process, it was admin, and I did not look forward to it. IRP 5s, any of those things, and it was all a mess. I then learned I had to catch up all of this paperwork from the other earning that I used to earn along the years when I didn't have a tax number, my word. Anyway, there's advantages to opening up a bank account early in life. That's one of them. The advantages of opening up your bank account early on in life is that you'll start learning how transactions are made in the real world. You can use bank statements to track the inflows and outflows of money versus a random amount of money that's packed away somewhere safely that you can take at any point in time and spend without knowing where, when, or how that money disappeared. Having a bank account also allows you to practice your behavior along those years of being a teenager of how to use a card in purchases and how to establish how you use a card before you eventually actually get a credit card. Which leads me on to point number 4. Start your financial management. We all know that budgeting, cash flow, money management isn't taught to us in schools. But guys, in 2020, that's far from an excuse. With the internet, with this channel, there's so much that you can learn by yourself. Now, the secret to succeeding in personal financial management, your money, begins with understanding how your money is coming into your life, how much is coming in, and where it's going out. So a place to start is using your account to understand that, look at the numbers, and then try learning what it's like to live on less than you make by paying yourself a salary from the money that's coming in, and make sure that that's less than what you make. And guys, no matter what age you are, realize this now. Financial management, personal financial management is something that many people never learn as a skill, ever. So the massive advantage that you guys have as a teenager is time. Time to practice this, time to make mistakes, and time to learn until it becomes real. The effect of this is that you will develop a growth mentality versus a consumption mentality because you'll appreciate your money and you'll want it to grow. And as you keep practicing and thinking about it, what you'll create and develop is a planning mentality. Because if you're running low on money and there's the next festival now that the times have changed, you'll be able to consider and plan for what you can do to make more money or spend less money. And you'll be able to see what that looks like on paper while you're planning, which will allow you to get better at creating your own goals, which then means you'll just get better at delegating where money goes, allocating money for certain things. If you're a charitable person, if you give zakat, or if you give tithe, which are compulsory based on your values, it will all allow you to understand the planning of where your money goes and the flow to make a difference in your communities. On to number 5. Start investing and automating your process of investing. The truth is, the key to success around money is to start investing early and paying yourself first. If you can get that right, and you happen to do that while you're younger, you'll just be able to create an incredible amount of wealth a lot easier. That is a secret that few people ever put into practice, simply because when life actually starts, it becomes a lot harder and your habits and beliefs and values around money have already sunk in. Think about that number from point number 1, the 600 Rand versus the 15,000 Rand per month. So the question that might be going on through your mind, if you have got it, because I've repeated myself in this video, if you've got it, what do you do starting today as a teenager? And it's quite simple. Firstly, there are many companies that you can open up an investment account with little to no minimums. Pick one, start, and then learn more. That will be better for you than not starting and delaying to start just because you felt like you needed to know everything. For now, think about investing like different cups. So like a glass, a gym water bottle, and a paper cup. What's the difference? The difference is they are designed differently based on the use of that container in a specific situation, right? Now think about it this way. Each of those cups represent a different type of investment out there. And each situation that you can use each one of those cups in, or those investments, represents the nature of your goals. So for example, if you want to invest somewhere, but you feel like you need access to that investment based on your situation in case of emergencies, you need to pick the cup or the investment account that is designed for emergencies, that has access to the money and can fit your investment strategy in it while you don't need access. Now, if you enjoyed that and you get it and you want to have a deep dive into the concept, how you start learning about investing, then go check out the investment series on the channel. And finally, the most important one of them all is rather than trying to get everything right. Just start somewhere. Through the process, you'll find your values and your ways of doing things. And having a key understanding of those things, your values, is what really matters in your journey to living life on your own terms. Through this time, you'll learn to have your own thoughts and you'll develop your own skill of making your own decisions while appreciating the value of advice for what it's worth to you. So guys, do your best along your own path. Make choices that will serve you and write your own story. If you're a parent, share this with your children and support them along their journey, because we are all on our own journeys, and the only constant in a changing world is kindness and the difference that we can make in each other's lives. And on that note, subscribe to the channel. If you haven't, hit that like button. Go check out our website, mymoneytalks.co.za. Leave us a comment below and I'll catch you guys in the next one.